The Petronas Towers, also known as the Petronas Twin Towers, Malay, Menara Petronas, or Menara Berkembar Petronas, are twin skyscrapers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. According to the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, CTBUH's official definition and ranking, they were the tallest buildings in the world from 1998 to 2004 and remain the tallest twin towers in the world. The buildings are a landmark of Kuala Lumpur, along with nearby Kuala Lumpur Tower. History. The towers were designed by Argentine architect Cesar Pelli. They chose a distinctive postmodern style to create a 21st-century icon for Kuala Lumpur. Planning on the Petronas Towers started on 1 January 1992 and included rigorous tests and simulations of wind and structural loads on the design. 7 years of construction followed at the former site of the original Selangor Turf Club, beginning on 1 March 1993 with excavation, which involved moving 500 truckloads of earth every night to dig down 30 meters, 98 feet, below the surface. The construction of the superstructure commenced on 1 April 1994. Interiors with furniture were completed on 1 January 1996. The spires of Tower 1 and Tower 2 were completed on 1 March 1996, and the first batch of Petronas personnel moved into the building on 1 January 1997. The building was officially opened by the Prime Minister of Malaysia's Tun Drive, Mahathir bin Mohamad, on 1 August 1999. The Twin Towers were built on the site of Kuala Lumpur's racetrack. Test boreholes found that the original construction site effectively sat on the edge of a cliff. One half of the site was decayed limestone while the other half was soft rock. The entire site was moved 61 meters, 200 feet, to allow the buildings to sit entirely on the soft rock. Because of the depth of the bedrock, the buildings were built on the world's deepest foundations, 104 concrete piles, ranging from 60 to 114 meters, 197 to 374 feet deep, were bored into the ground. The concrete raft foundation, comprising 13,200 cubic meters, 470,000 cu feet, of concrete, was continuously poured through a period of 54 hours for each tower. The raft is 4.6 meters, 15 feet, thick, weighs 32,500 tons, 35,800 tons, and held the world record for the largest concrete pour until 2007. The foundations were completed within 12 months by Batchi Solitanch and required massive amounts of concrete. The Petronas Towers structural system is the tube-in-tube design, invented by Fazlur Rahman Khan. Applying a tube structure for extreme, tall buildings is a common phenomenon. The 88-floor towers are constructed largely of reinforced concrete, with a steel and glass facade designed to resemble motifs found in Islamic art, a reflection of Malaysia's Muslim religion. Another Islamic influence on the design is that the cross-section of the towers is based on a rub al-Hesp, albeit with circular sectors added to meet office space requirements. As a result of the Malaysian government specifying that the buildings be completed in 6 years, 2 construction consortiums were hired to meet the deadline, one for each tower. Tower 1, the West Tower, right in the top right photograph, was built by a Japanese consortium led by the Husama Corporation, Yar Jones Construction Co., MMC Engineering Services SDNBHD, Ho-Hup Construction Co., BHD and Mitsubishi Corp. While Tower 2, the East Tower, left in the top right photograph, was built by a South Korean consortium led by the Samsung C&T Corporation. Kukdong Engineering and Construction and Syarakit Jasatera SDNBHD. Ekuvast Berhad, with Tan Sri Datuk Lim Kang who at its helm also played an integral role in the construction as well as final fit-outs of the towers and the shopping mall below the towers. Surya KLCC. Early into construction, a batch of concrete failed a routine strength test, causing construction to come to a complete halt. All the completed floors were tested, but it was found that only one had used a bad batch and it was demolished. As a result of the concrete failure, each new batch was tested before being poured. The halt in construction had cost $700,000 per day and led to 3 separate concrete plants being set up on the site to ensure that if one produced a bad batch, the other 2 could continue to supply concrete. The Sky Bridge contract was completed by Kukdong Engineering and Construction. Tower 2 became the first to reach the world's tallest building at the time, when the structure reached about 72nd floor. Tower 2 ran into problems. They discovered the structure was leaning 25 mm (0.98 in) off from vertical. To correct the lean, the next 16 floors were slanted back 20 mm (0.79 in), with specialist surveyors hired to check verticality twice a day until the building's completion. Due to the huge cost of importing steel, the towers were constructed on a cheaper radical design of super high-strength reinforced concrete. High-strength concrete is a material familiar to Asian contractors and twice as effective as steel in sway reduction. However, it makes the building twice as heavy on its foundation as a comparable steel building. Supported by 23 by 23 meter concrete cores and an outer ring of widely spaced super columns, the towers use a sophisticated structural system that accommodates its slender profile and provides 560,000 square meters of column-free office space. Below the Twin Towers is Surya KLCC, a shopping mall, and Dewan Philharmonic Petronas, the home of the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra. Notable events. On 15 April 1999, Felix Baumgartner set the world record for base jumping, since broken, by jumping off a window cleaning crane on the Petronas Towers. Thousands of people were evacuated on 12 September 2001 after a bomb threat the day after the September 11 attacks destroyed the World Trade Center towers in New York City. Bomb disposal squads found no bomb in the Petronas Towers, but they evacuated everyone. Workers and shoppers were allowed to return 3 hours later, around noon. No one was hurt during the evacuation. On the evening of 4 November 2005, a fire broke out in the cinema complex of the Surya KLCC shopping center below the Petronas Towers, triggering panic among patrons. There were no reports of injuries. The buildings were largely empty, except the shopping mall, Surya KLCC. Because of the late hour, the only people involved were moviegoers and some diners in restaurants. On the morning of 1 September 2009, French urban climber Alain Spider-Man Robert, using only his bare hands and feet and with no safety devices, scaled to the top of Tower 2 in just under 2 hours after 2 previous efforts had ended in arrest. In his first attempt on 20 March 1997, police arrested him at the 60th floor, 28 floors away from the summit. The second attempt on 20 March 2007, exactly 10 years later, was also stopped on the same floor, though on the other tower. Comparison with other towers. The Petronas Towers were the tallest buildings in the world for 6 years, until Taipei 101 was completed in 2004. The height of the towers is measured to the top of their structural components such as spires, but do not include antennas. Spires are considered actual integral parts of the architectural design of buildings. to which changes would substantially change the appearance and design of the building, whereas antennas may be added or removed without such consequences. The Petronas Towers still remain the tallest twin buildings in the world. Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, and the World Trade Center Towers were each constructed with 110 occupied floors, 22 more than the 88 floors of the Petronas Towers. Willis Tower's tallest antenna is 75.41 meters, 247.4 feet, taller than those of the Petronas Towers. However, in accordance with CTBUH regulations and guidelines, the antennas of Willis Tower were not counted as part of its architectural features. The spires on the Petronas Towers are included in the height since they are not antenna masts. Therefore, the Petronas Towers exceed the official height of Willis Tower by 9.8 meters, 32 feet, even though the roof of Petronas Towers at 378.6 meters, 1,242 feet, is 63.4 meters, 208 feet, lower than the roof of Willis Tower at 442.1 meter, 1,450 feet. The Petronas Towers feature a diamond-faceted facade consisting of 83,500 square meters, 899,000 square feet, of stainless steel extrusions. In addition, a 33,000-panel curtain wall cladding system resides within the towers. While the stainless steel element of the towers entices the illustrious sun, highlighting the magnificent towers, they are composed of 55,000 square meters, 590,000 square feet, of 20.38 mm, 0.802 in. Laminated glass to reduce heat by reflecting harmful UV rays. On the top of each tower is a pinnacle standing 73.5 meters, 241 feet, tall. The pinnacles were more than just the finishing touches to the height of the towers, each taking over 19 weeks to construct and both being assembled outside the country. One was constructed in Japan and the other in Korea. Each pinnacle is composed of 50 unique parts making up the main components: the spire, mast ball and ring ball. Together these parts weigh 176 tons. While the pinnacles may seem to be an aesthetic feature of the towers to enhance their presence and height, they also play function to aircraft warning lights and are an essential element to the overall Islamic minaret design that the towers embody. The interiors of the towers highlight the Malaysian cultural inspiration to the design through traditional aspects such as fabric and carvings typical of the culture, specifically evident in the foyer of the entrance halls in the towers. The construction of the Petronas Towers turned out to be a multinational effort. The structural design engineers worked out of New York City, while the wind tunnel consultants and elevator design engineers were from Canada. To meet local safety construction codes, the towers had to be able to withstand 65 miles per hour, 105 kilometers per hour winds. To assure this requirement would be fulfilled, the engineers tested the towers twice within a wind tunnel. First by computer simulation and second by building an actual model of the towers. A unique typographical font was created for the KLCC precinct signage by the Australian design firm Emery Vincent, who also designed the building's architectural graphics and wayfinding maps. The design team was led by Gary Emery and included Alvin Chan, Jeannie Lee, Linda Popovich and Marius Vogel. Anchor tenants. Tower 1 is fully occupied by Petronas and a number of its subsidiaries and associate companies, while the office spaces in Tower 2 are mostly available for lease to other companies. A number of companies have offices in Tower 2, including Huawei Technologies, AVEVA, Al Jazeera English, Karagali Hess, Bloomberg, Boeing, IBM, Khazanah Nasional Berhad, McKinsey & Co., Wipro Limited, TCS, Hydrogen Chloride Technologies, Crawler, Microsoft, The Agency, a modeling company, and Reuters. Features: Surya KLCC. Surya KLCC is a 140,000 square meters, 1,500,000 square feet, upmarket retail center at the feet of the Petronas Towers. It features mostly foreign luxury goods and high street labels. Its attractions include an art gallery, a philharmonic theater, an underwater aquarium and also a science center. Surya KLCC is one of the largest shopping malls in Malaysia. KLCC Park, spanning 17 acres, 6.9 hectares. Below the building is the KLCC Park with jogging and walking paths, a fountain with incorporated light show, wading pools, and a children's playground. Skybridge. The towers feature a double-decker skybridge connecting the two towers on the 41st and 42nd floors, which is the highest two-story bridge in the world. It is not attached to the main structure, but is instead designed to slide in and out of the towers to prevent it from breaking, as the towers sway several feet in towards and away from each other during high winds. It also provides some structural support to the towers in these occasions. The bridge is 170 meters, 558 feet, above the ground and 58.4 meters, 192 feet, long, weighing 750 tons. The same floor is also known as the podium, since visitors going to higher levels have to change elevators here. The Sky Bridge is open to all visitors, but tickets are limited to about 1,000 people per day, and must be obtained on a first-come, first-served basis. Initially, the visit was free, but in 2010, the tickets started being sold by Petronas. Visitors can choose to opt for Package 1, which is just a visit to the Sky Bridge, or go for Package 2 to go to the Sky Bridge and all the way to level 86. Visitors are only allowed on the 41st floor, as the 42nd floor can only be used by the tenants of the building. The Sky Bridge also acts as a safety device, so that in the event of a fire or other emergency in one tower, tenants can evacuate by crossing the Sky Bridge to the other tower. The total evacuation triggered by a bomb hoax on the 12th of September 2001. The day after the September 11th attacks destroyed the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, showed that the bridge would not be useful if both towers need to be emptied simultaneously, as the capacity of the staircases was insufficient for such an event. Plans thus call for the lifts to be used if both towers need to be evacuated, and a successful drill following the revised plan was conducted in 2005. There is a two-hinge arch that supports the Sky Bridge with arch legs, each 51 meters, 167 feet long, that are bolted to level 29 of each of the towers. After being constructed on the ground, the Sky Bridge was lifted into place on the towers over a period of 3 days in July 1995. Instead of being directly connected to the towers, the Sky Bridge can shift or slide in and out of them to counterbalance any effect from the wind. Residing on the 41st and 42nd floors, the Sky Bridge connects a conference room, an executive dining room and a prayer room. Lift system. The main bank of Otis lifts is located in the center of each tower. All main lifts are double-decker, with the lower deck of the lift taking passengers to even-numbered floors and upper deck to odd-numbered floors. To reach an odd-numbered floor from ground level, passengers must take an escalator to the upper deck of the lift. There are 29 double-deck passenger elevators, but there are different sets that service certain floors of the towers. Specifically, 2 sets of 6 of these double-deck passenger elevators to floors 1 to 23 and 1 to 37, respectively. Another set of 5 passenger lifts transport passengers to the 41st and 42nd floors, where they can switch lifts to reach the upper zones of the buildings. Each double-deck passenger lift with the capacity of 52 passengers or 26 passengers per deck. There are also 6 heavy-duty elevators for utility. From the ground floor, there are 3 groups of lifts. The short-haul group of 6 lifts take passengers to floors between level 2/3 and level 16/17. The mid-haul group of 6 lifts take passengers to floors between level 18/19 and level 37/38. There is also a set of shuttle lifts that take passengers directly to levels 41/42. To get to levels above 41/42, passengers must take the shuttle lifts, then change to lifts to the upper floors. These connecting lifts are directly above the lifts that serve levels 2 to 38. The pattern now repeats with the upper levels. One set serving levels 43/44 to 57/58, and one set serving levels 59/60 to levels 73/74. Apart from this main bank of lifts, there are a series of connecting lifts to take people between the groups. Unlike the main lifts, these are not the double-decker type. 2 lifts are provided to take people from levels 37/38 to levels 41/42. Levels 39 and 40 are not accessible as office space. This spares someone in the lower half of the building from having to go back to the ground floor to go to the upper half of the building. The lifts contain a number of safety features. It is possible to evacuate people from a lift stuck between floors by manually driving one of the adjacent lifts next to it and opening a panel in the wall. It is then possible for people in the stuck lift to walk between lift cars. During an evacuation of the buildings, only the shuttle lift is allowed to be used, as there are only doors at levels G1 and levels 41/42. Therefore, should there be a fire in the lower half of the building, this enclosed shaft would remain unaffected. Firefighter lifts are also provided in case of emergency. The lift operating chart of the Petronas Towers, PL7A, PL7C, Tower 1, and PL8A, PL8C. Tower 2, Parking and Podium Passenger Lift, P5, P1, C, G, 1, 2, 2M, 3 to 5, PL7A and PL8A non-stop at level 2M, SL6, Tower 1, and SL7, Tower 2, Parking and Podium Service Lift, P5, P1, 1, 2, 2M, 3 to 5, SL7 non-stop at level 2M, PL14, Tower 1, and PL15, Tower 2, Concert Passenger Lift, G2, 2M, 3, 4, A1, A6, Tower 1, and A7, A12, Tower 2, Bank A Passenger Lift, G1, 8 to 23, B1, B6, Tower 1, and B7, B12, Tower 2, Bank B Passenger Lift, G1, 23 to 37, CF1, CF2, Tower 1, and CF3, CF4, Tower 2, Conference Shuttle Lift, 36, 37, 40 to 43, C1, C6, Tower 1, and C7, C12, Tower 2, Bank C Passenger Lift, 41/42, 44 to 61, D1, D3, Tower 1, and D4, D6, Tower 2, Bank D Passenger Lift, 41/42, 61, 69 to 83, E1, E3, Tower 1, and E4, E6, Tower 2, Bank E Passenger Lift, 41/42, 61 to 73, TE1, TE2, Tower 1, and TE3, TE4, Tower 2, Upper Level Passenger Lift, 83, 85, 86, SH1 SH5, Tower 1, and SH6 SH10. Tower 2, shuttle lift, G1, 41-40 seconds, S1 S2, Tower 1, and S4 S5. Tower 2, service lift, P1, C, G, 2-6, 8-38, 40-84, S3, Tower 1, and S6. Tower 2, lower level service lift, P1, C, G, 2-6, 8-37, F1 F2, Tower 1, and F3 F4. Tower 2, fireman service lift, P1, C, CM, G, 1-6, 8-38, 40-84, 84 M1, 84 M2, 85, 86, F1 and F3 non-stop at level 1. Service building. The service building is to the east of the Petronas Towers and contains the chiller plant system and the cooling towers to keep the Petronas Towers cool and comfortable. Ticketing system. In order to visit Petronas Towers, visitors must first purchase the tickets. Tickets of adults and children can be purchased via online web portal or at the counter. Discounted tickets for seniors are available for those 55 years of age and above. Queues for tickets can get quite long sometimes. The complete ticketing system or automated fare collection system is provided by a Malaysian-based solution company called Longbot Technologies SDNBHD. In popular culture, the towers are prominently featured and mentioned by name in the 1999 film Entrapment, with numerous scenes filmed at the towers, with the climax set on the Sky Bridge. The towers appear in the first episode of the US TV series 24. Several scenes of the Bollywood filmed on The Chase Begins Again were also filmed in the Petronas Towers and its Sky Bridge. In part 1 of the Phineas and Ferb episode Phineas and Ferb Save Summer, quote, "The towers are visible during the musical number, Summer All Over the World." Eidos Interactive has twice used the towers for inspiration in the video games. In the 2002 hit Man 2, Silent Assassin, the Malaysia base level's basement killing, the graveyard shift, and the jacuzzi job all take place in the Petronas Towers. In 2010's Just Cause 2, the fictional Panau Falls Casino is based on the Petronas Towers. A 2002 episode of the animated series Jackie Chan Adventures titled When Pigs Fly, Season 3, Episode 6, features the towers. The towers made its appearance in the animated series Totally Spies episode titled Man a Machine. The opening of the 2010 film Fair Game had scenes with the Twin Towers along with the skyline of Kuala Lumpur. A number of scenes for the 2012 Hong Kong Chinese action film Viral Factor included shots of the Twin Towers. In the 2016 film Independence Day Resurgence, the towers are seen falling onto the London Tower Bridge by aliens, with a character commenting, "They like to get the landmarks." Photo gallery. See also Menara Telecom. List of skyscrapers. List of tallest buildings in Kuala Lumpur. List of tallest buildings and structures in the world. List of tallest freestanding structures in the world. Skyscraper Index. List of tallest buildings in Malaysia. KL 118. Petronas Towers official website. Petronas Tower 1 on CTBUH Skyscraper Center. Petronas Tower 2 on CTBUH Skyscraper Center. Petronas Towers at Structure. Introduction and overview of the Petronas Towers. Design and construction of the Petronas Towers. Tourism Malaysia, Petronas Twin Towers. Design and construction of the Petronas Towers. Ticketing system by Longbot Technologies. Images. 360 Panorama Petronas Tower. ArcNet drawings. Photos and videos. Digital visualization of Petronas Towers. Photos, pictures and other supplementary information on Petronas Twin Towers and Surya KLCC, Kuala Lumpur City Centre by photography in Malaysia. Malaysian Internet Resources. MIA.